All right, what's going on there, folks? Earthmaster here checking in on this Sunday evening, July 12th, 2020, about 6:55 p.m. West Coast time, and taking a look at the Earthquake 3D globe here. Shows a little bit of activity on the ramp up out here along the West Coast. All this activity following 5.3 earthquake that struck south of Mexico there, just off the, well, let's see exactly where that's at. That's a little bit further south. Let's get the exact coordinate here real quick. Nicaragua, yeah, looks like 151 kilometers below surface. So this activity definitely on the deep side. I'll switch over here to this view so you guys can see a little bit of what I'm talking about here. 5.3 near Villa El Carmen. It looks like quite a few folks reported feeling it. You can see the historical seismic activity sheet right there. Shows well, obviously a lot of activity in the region there over time. So that's yeah, pretty crazy area. Let's go ahead and shoot up north here to the West Coast, California region here. Do the latest update right there. See Nevada still popping off there with some earthquake activity. It looks like they may be picking back up as well. Some interesting activity over here towards the coastline, north of Ventura. There's that little 2.8 earthquake in the red square right there. And I'm trying to find out where that 3.5 is at. I know they showed it here, at least on the Earthquake 3D globe, so I'm not for sure exactly where that went to. But anyway, like I said, California on the ramp up a little bit following that 5.3. See some activity down here along the southern section, close to the southern section of the San Andreas Fault, down there near the Salton Sea region. Some small microquaking going on down there. Nothing major to report down there yet. That could all change. Zooming in here to the Nevada area. Nothing major, just quite a few microquakes. They did have that 3.4, looks like, when was that? Earlier today. So we'll have to keep an eye on this area. It seems as though they may be on the ramp up once again, but it's hard to say for sure. 3.5, I guess, not showing up on that Caltech website. It is here on the USGS 1-day magnitude 2.5 and above map there. So now we know where that 3.5 is at. 15 kilometers below surface there. It looks like it's kind of towards the eastern edge of the swarming activity there. This is only 2.5 and above, so a lot of the microquakes not showing up because they're under 2.5, obviously. Let's see here. I want to check out this fault system over here where this little 2.8 struck. Got Santa Barbara up here, Ventura to the south. Looks like we're taking place on the what's that specific fault system? Yeah, I've never heard of that one. California is a super complex web of, like I said, fault systems. I always say that. It's just a major spider web of many, many different faults. And I'm sure there's some that have not been marked on the map here. But this one taking place on the, looks like the Rincon Creek fault. Mesa Rincon Creek. I'm thinking I'm pronouncing that correctly. Or at least in between that one. Yeah, there's just a lot going on over there, but nothing, you know, no red flags there, just kind of a strange earthquake that popped up there by itself. Moving up here to the north, Idaho is still shaking a little bit up there at a 3.0 and a 2.6 there towards the Montana region there. Not a whole lot going on over here at Yellowstone National Park either. We can take a look at their seismograph stations here, and it shows relatively some quiet activity. No swarming, no Nothing. This activity that you're seeing right here is just wind, and it's consistent because it's showing up also on a lot of other stations there around the area. So a little bit of wind showing up, that's about it. Tremor, let's go ahead and check out the tremor map here. Just kind of getting some stuff set up here on this new computer. We can check out, well, I guess we'll go back one day and see what's out here. Pretty quiet, at least for one day. A little bit of activity up there in Washington. And once again, this is slow slip event tremor, not earthquake activity. Just down there along the Cascadia subduction zone, some slow slippage going on, which is not unheard of. It's actually quite often that it does happen. Other than that, we can go back before that one day and see what that had in store there. We can go back a couple days here. I don't think it's really going to change too much. It's been kind of minimal at best there. Just sporadic activity. Now, whether that's good or bad news, that's, you know, I guess it's questionable. Could be good and bad news, however you want to look at it, when it comes to the Cascadia subduction zone there. So I've always thought that when we see a large uptick in tremor along the Cascadia subduction zone, which extends all the way up here, Vancouver Island through Washington, Oregon, and ends right down here. You can kind of see that mark here in Northern California. I've always thought that when we see the tremor movement on a large scale, that's obviously putting more pressure on the upslope areas, the locked section. You know, not the unlocked section. You know, where all this tremor is taking place. But when we see a large amount, I've always thought that kind of a time to be observant because of the pressure that's back building on the already locked section. So that's my view of it. You know, it's going to do what it's going to do, and one day it will pop off, and we'll have to deal with it. But anyway, folks, like I say, not a whole lot going on in the earthquake department. Relatively quiet. We can take a look globally real quick again. There's what do we got there? Low earthquake coming into the Mammoth Lakes region there. Right now, not for sure on the magnitude of it, but I guess we'll find out here. Yeah, so globally, there's the latest earthquake at 3.5 right there in Nevada. Globally, well, we just got a 5-pointer that just popped up right there off the coast of Japan. Prior to that, there was a 4.9 in that same general area at the same depth of about 46 kilometers below surface there. Not a whole lot of activity on the Pacific Ring of Fire on this western part, but over towards the Indonesia islands there, some pretty good movement with a bunch of 4s and some 5s there as well. So things are looking a little interesting. Anyway, folks, I hope everyone out there is having a good night. If you get a chance, check out Comet Neowise, or better known as what, C2020 F3 or something like that. I think that's their official name, but a lot of people call it Neowise. If you get a chance tonight, supposed to be able to see it in the evening sky towards the northwest at about 6 degrees above the horizon there. So I would check. It's supposed to be right around about an hour after sunset this evening. Just coming up close, right? Well, it's 7 o'clock here. Yeah, about an hour after sunset. Look up towards the northwest. Low on the horizon, obviously low, 6 degrees, and you should be able to see it with the unaided eye, Comet Neowise there. I got some pretty good pictures this morning, and you can also see it in the morning as well. You just got to get up around. Ooh, the time frame I used was about 3:40 to 4:10. It seemed like that was about a good time to go out there. There was very minimal light from the sunrise, but you could still see the comet pretty good there. So check it out if you guys want. I might go out there here in a little bit, see if I can see it here in the northwestern sky. I may not be able to because I do have some trees and some houses on the horizon, so probably won't. But over the next week or so, that comet will be rising in the nighttime sky, so it won't quite be as low on the horizon. So either way, I think we're all going to see it. It's something that you should probably check out. It's not going to be around for another, what, 6,000 years or so. So definitely check it out. And yeah, take your kids out there. You know, just if you want to see it yourself, it's something to, it's something to, I think it's cool. I think it's pretty awesome. I remember Comet Hale-Bopp back in the 90s, and that thing was spectacular. This comet, not as much, but still, it's a sight to see, and you don't want to miss it. So have a good evening, folks. Thanks for checking in. We'll chat to you guys a little bit later. Peace out.